An election warning before voters head to the polls. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maycee and this is ENN Now.
And I'm Jensen McKee. The state election board sent out a warning about a text message. The text told voters that their polling place had changed, and then asked the person to reply to the text to confirm their name. The state election board said that the texter had provided a phone number for people to call to get removed from the list, but the number went to a mail escort service. The state election secretary said voters will not be notified by text message. To confirm your polling place, you can do that on the state election board website.
The president's next 3 weeks will be the busiest of his time in the White House as he travels to rallies around the country. Polling shows the president trailing to his Democratic rival and former Vice President, Joe Biden. The two candidates will meet for a final debate on Thursday with new rules to help control interruptions. The Commission on Presidential Debates said microphones will be cut off at the start of each section, but there will not be a mute button.
On Monday, Tulsa resumed its excavation for the 1921 race massacre. Researchers are looking for the lost graves from the massacre. The violence happened 100 years ago when a white mob attacked Tulsa's Black Wall Street. At the time, it was estimated 300 people died and more than 800 were hurt, while mobs robbed and burned businesses and homes.
The president of the Oklahoma State Medical Association renewed his call for a statewide mask mandate as COVID cases reached a record high. 792 people were hospitalized on Friday. That brings total cases in Oklahoma to more than 108,000 cases. So far, more than 1,100 people have died from the virus in Oklahoma. There's big news coming from the nation's space agency.
Former Oklahoma Congressman Jim Bridenstine is head of NASA, and ENN's Raelea joins us now to explain the big moves happening in space.
To reach its goal to build a lunar base and eventually sustain human life on the moon by 2028, NASA awarded $370 million to over a dozen companies to deploy technology on the moon's surface. These range from remote power generation to cryogenic, freezing to 4G. 4G could provide more reliable, longer-distance communication than the current radio standards. NASA's plans don't stop with the moon. The agency will use a spacecraft with a robotic arm to collect a sample from a near-Earth rubble pile asteroid named Bennu. The OSIRIS-REx was launched on September 6, 2016 and has orbited the Empire State Building-sized asteroid for 2 years and will return to Earth in 2023. The asteroid is approximately 207 million miles from Earth, causing a nearly 20-minute delay. Also, celebrity scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson warns that an asteroid about the size of a refrigerator could hit the Earth on Election Day. But even though it sounds big, it isn't big enough to cause any real damage.
Thanks, Raelea, and thank you for joining us on this week's episode of ENN Now.
Be sure to check out our website and social media pages for more stories from our team of student journalists.